All right, welcome, and let's begin. Thanks everyone for joining us on a Friday. I guess for everyone it's a Friday. So this is a presentation by the OAD projects that were implemented last year in 2023. So we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and the idea is to give the projects a chance to, reflect and look back at what they did over the year, and also share it with the other projects and the larger OAD and IAU communities. And for us as the OAD, it's also a chance to get some additional information from the projects. We already get the reports, but then it's always nice to share videos and stuff on websites and social medias and digital platforms. So with that, I will ask Kevin Govinda, who is the director of the OAD, to kick us off with a short welcome.
Thanks very much, Ram. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks very much and welcome everyone. This is a very special event because we get a chance to reflect on all the projects that and we've supported over the past year. I think to say welcome, I just want to give you some context. The OAD, when it was established in 2011, when we set out on this adventure to try to use astronomy to make the world a better place, one of the first things that we decided on is that we, as the OAD, as an office in Cape Town, we don't know the world enough. We don't know your communities enough. And so in order to realize this idea of using astronomy for a better world, we needed to engage with people from around the world who were able to come up with good ideas, come up with ways in which their communities can benefit. And so this call started off, just over 10 years ago. And every year we've tried to engage people from across the world, and it's not necessarily people that are involved in astronomy. It's anyone anywhere in the world who has ideas and ways in which they can use astronomy to impact on society, impact on their community. And we're very pleased every year we get really wonderful applications and lots of enthusiasm to participate in the projects. It's not a lot of money that we have to support the projects. Many of and the funding is limited to a few thousand euros per project. But at the same time, it's amazing what can be achieved with that amount. We hope that we can help you in other ways. We can help you, to support thinking of ways of making your project sustainable, ways in which we can expand your project. But we're grateful for the funding that we get from the International Astronomical Union, the funding from the South African government through the National Research Foundation and the Department of Science and Innovation that keeps the OAD going. And I must just say a special word of thanks to Ram, who basically coordinates all these projects, coordinates this event. But I think the biggest thank you is to all the projects, all the project coordinators. There may not be a huge amount of money, but there's definitely a huge amount of heart in all these projects. And I look forward to hearing about the projects. We've tried to constantly improve the process, especially the reporting process. Ram now has it, in the form of an online form that you can fill in order to make the reporting fluid and easy. And if you have any input, any comments, any ideas on how we can continuously improve on the process, please let us know. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks, Ram, and I look forward to hearing about all the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. So we're also streaming this meeting on YouTube. If you want other people to follow your presentation, to follow our session, please feel free to share. Andrea, could you post in the chat the link to the YouTube video so that people can share it? So Yeah, like Kevin said, I know that we don't give a lot of money and we ask a lot from you. So we have reports, we ask videos, we ask for meetings. So thanks everyone for indulging us and for complying with all of our requests. So I will play the recorded videos one by one. As I call your project, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself quickly, and then I will play the video. So the first project I have on the list is from Malaysia. So Nurul, you can quickly introduce yourself and then I will play your video. Lankavians guide Malaysians to the stars.
Hello everyone, I'm Nurul from Malaysia. Thank you so much. We were doing astronomy course for the tour guides from Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you see the screen and hear it?
Hello everyone, peace be upon you. My name is Nurul Fatini Jaafar and I'm here with my teammates Daim, Safwan and Azhari representing Sahabat Langit Utara from Malaysia. Together, we bring a diverse range of backgrounds in astronomy, physics, anthropology, management and engineering. Our project, Langkawin's Guide Malaysians to the Stars, emerged during the challenging times of the pandemic when the tourism sector, including Langkawi, faced significant hardships. The struggle to sustain the economy affected tour guides, local operators, and resorts alike. We anticipate a shift in travel preferences once the pandemic subsides. People will seek affordable yet exciting experiences such as stargazing to reconnect with nature. To meet this demand, we committed to a mission to train the first group of astro guides for Malaysia. Our goal was to equip them with the necessary skills to craft unique stargazing experiences tailored to the preferences of the travelers. We were delighted to receive 55 applications when we advertised in May 2023, from which we carefully selected 20 candidates. Among them, 30% are female and 70% are male, representing diverse age group. Our training program covered various aspects of astrotourism, including astronomy fundamentals, observation techniques, photography, cultural astronomy, and digital proficiency. The astro guides had the opportunity to conduct their own meteor shower expeditions. We also organized one-on-one field visits all across the peninsula and a 3-day astronomy festival in Kuala Kubu Baru to provide them with hands-on experience. Despite our efforts, our journey has not been without challenges. While 11 apprentices have made significant strides in their development, others are still navigating their path. Among the apprentices, they are currently working in resorts, tour agencies, NGOs, and also startups. We also encountered obstacles such as adapting to different learning styles, managing scheduling conflicts, and overcoming unpredictable weather conditions. However, we are so grateful for the unwavering support we receive from the local communities and organizations. We are excited to announce the upcoming launch of our website sahabatlangitutara.com, where all our training resources and videos will be accessible to the public. Looking ahead, we are committed to organizing more stargazing events with wider local communities and fostering collaborations with diverse agencies and organizations. Our esteemed partners include Tourism Malaysia, Tourism Selangor, Hulu Selangor Municipal Council, Jabatan Perhutanan Johor, Islamic agencies, Mufti departments, local NGOs, and individuals. Our ultimate aspiration is to cultivate a culture of stargazing among Malaysians, nurturing more appreciation for the wonders of the night sky, combating light pollution, and promoting conservation efforts. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the IAU Office of Astronomy for Development for invaluable support, and we are eager to continue this journey with determination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nurul. Please save your questions. We'll take all the questions at the end of the hour. So roughly, the session has been divided into two. I think it's about 10 presentations for each hour, and at the end of each hour, we'll have time for questions. Thank you for that. So the next project, I should say, we have is Scouts for Astronomy from Kenya. So I call upon Brian Bishanga to introduce himself, and then I will play the video. Brian, can you hear me? Okay, let me play the video. You should be able to unmute Brian. Okay, we can try later, Brian, but I'll just play your video for now.
My name is Brian. My presentation today will focus on the progress of Scouts for Astronomy on behalf of my team, Sam, Carrington, Elvis, and Isaac. As a form of introduction, Scouts for Astronomy is a pilot program aimed at introducing astronomy to the Kenya Scouts Association and incorporating astronomy into their curriculum by conducting Astronomy Scouts Camp for students. The Kenya Scouts Association, which we'll be working very closely with, is a voluntary educational non-political movement which aims to involve young people of all backgrounds, genders, races, and origins in programs and activities that develop them as responsible agents of change in the world. The key objectives of our project are to conduct a three-day outdoor camp with the assistance of the Kenya Scouts Association. The camp is aimed at Scouts aged 12 to 15 and will be held in Ngurumani, Kenya, which is a dark sky region. This project also acts as an avenue through which we will integrate astronomy into the Scouting curriculum and foster collaboration with STEM education stakeholders such as the Kenya Space Agency. So far, we have achieved one of the objectives, which is to foster collaboration with the Kenya Scouts Association in the form of approvals and communication with schools. We have also started conversations with the Kenya Space Agency as an avenue for funding after the OAD funding phase. In terms of the project, we have made preparations such as purchasing and delivering the Celestron telescope and other things such as the projector which will be used in the project. Here we see an image of the Celestron telescope. We experienced a challenge during the execution of the project, which delayed the project, and this was in the form of predictions of heavy rainfall due to El Nino. And these heavy rainfall and floods were predicted for the last 3 months of 2023 when we had planned to do the training. As a safety precaution, we had to reschedule the camp as we could not guarantee the safety of the students camping outdoors with the expected flooding. So with this, we'll finalize with the next steps which will be to finalize the project and continue discussions with the Kenya Space Agency, after which we can do the final reporting. Thank you for your time, and I'll be happy to receive any questions.
Brian, do you want to try and introduce yourself now? Okay, I guess not. Okay, no worries. So we'll move on to the next project. So the next one is Science and Astronomy in Southern Botswana. I believe Bill is here.
I am here.
Hey, Bill. You can introduce yourself and then I'll play your video.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Bill Tomlinson. I'm a director and a company here in Botswana called Diamonds in the Sky. We've been doing stargazing events and various different astronomy-related training events since 2016. And this project now, with funding from the OAD, allowed us to go to a very remote area and provide some teacher training and stargazing fun for teachers and students living far off the grid. Thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone. Today is my honor and pleasure to be here presenting you the project Science and Astronomy in Southern Botswana, which was founded by the OAD. My name is Fulvio Franchi. I'm an associate professor at Botswana International University of Science and Technology. And here with me today is Bill Tomlinson, which is the founder of the company Diamonds in the Sky that deals with astronomy and education in Botswana. So the country we've been working in is Botswana, where we are situated. And the idea of this project came from a discussion originated by the colleagues of Diamond in the Sky. And the issue we have to deal with in this country are very common across the continent, and are the inequality between remote and rural dwellers and others, especially those living in the city. And that is especially concerning when we look at science education. The resources are often unevenly distributed between rural schools and schools within a larger city. Students and teachers are normally living in tents, and they don't have the tools for teaching. So we suggested a change of paradigm in order to improve the way science is taught in these rural areas, and by introducing new approaches, empowering teachers and inspiring young students. So for this project, we targeted a school in a village called Machana, where there are 13 teachers, mostly young women, and where students can walk up to 20 kilometers in order to reach the school. There are other similar schools in the area that eventually got involved in the project. Our plan was to provide basic training to the teachers and some materials in order for improving the way science was taught. So, as I said, the idea started back in 2019 when Diamonds in the Sky engaged the government in order to improve science and education in rural area. The idea was to start with Machana, but the ministry got engaged and they suggested to include 9 other schools. So at the end of the day, in the project, we had 13 teachers from 10 different schools that were involved, and a final event in Machana in this rural area. So what is the project? Is a collaboration between Diamond in the Sky, Botswana International University of Science and Technology, the Pan-African Planetary Space Science Network, and it was clearly funded by the OAD. The idea was to provide school teacher with practical training and with some equipment, including Galileo scope, some fold scope, like this beautiful paper microscope. And the training would be a 4-day event in Kanya, a small city in southern Botswana, to move for a last day event with stargazing in the village of Machana. Here is a slide on the training event. Here you can see all the teachers and the educator, Dr. Yulusoy and myself from Buste, and Dr. Tsipa from University of Botswana. And this event lasted 4 days, and we talk about astronomy, astrophysics, planetary science, and so on. And then the final day event in Machana, where we did during the day some basic science experiment, including the use of paper microscope. And we concluded when Diamond is in the Sky organized a stargazing event. At the end of this event, certificate of attendance were awarded to every teacher, as you can see in the slide, which is very important for them and for their training. But we also organize some questionnaires in order to gather information on, for instance, what are the challenges and what they've learned from this event. We're proud to say that this event was already replicated in other rural schools, and the government is very keen to expand the program in astronomy for both education and tourists, particularly in training of the guides. Thank you, and see you soon.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So the next one is Astrophy Quench from Pakistan. Mirwat, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Hello, everyone. So I am Merit from Pakistan, and our project has aimed to empower students from underrepresented community.
All right, let me play the video.
Hello, I am Mervit, and I am presenting my project Astrophy Queens today. Our project revolves around equity, inclusion, and diversity. Project aimed to empower girls and underrepresented groups through informal STEM engagement. A number of blended learning activities were aligned to foster science identity and to produce scientifically literate youngsters and female STEM ambassadors. We started project activities by arranging private sessions for school admin and the students. Our main target audience were underprivileged students from conflict-affected areas. Most of them were orphaned due to war and terror. Our other major audience were students from a community based in remote mountainous regions of Pakistan. During the first activity, the students at the orphanage utilized online telescope from Canary Islands and Chile Observatory. Utilizing online telescope requires an email account, which was not permitted by the school administration for internet safety. This, coupled with limited devices, remained a major challenge to the project. The single quest, which could be completed in a day, took 4 to 5 days, as students have to work on the turns because of limited devices, access to internet, and power outages. To facilitate students, reading materials and videos embedded in each quest were orally explained in Urdu. Students were also encouraged to use discussion boards to share their experience after each activity. After each quest, students have infographic poster ready with a personalized observation. This months-long work culminated with a display for peers and school staff. Through this engagement, we hope to have instilled digital literacy, communications, and presentation skills. In another orphanage in Islamabad, we initiated our activity with the observation session. Unfortunately, we cannot go further here due to changing school dynamics. Our second targeted audience was schools from 3 locations of remote mountainous regions of Pakistan. Virtual sessions were conducted about the online telescope for almost 649 students. We took off to road for in-person sessions traveling through Himalaya, Hindu Kush, and Karakoram ranges to reach Gilgit and beyond. During face-to-face interactions in Gilgit, student problems were catered. Our STEM ambassador from same region was there for the session. In-person sessions at Ashirkal and Karimabad were also conducted. The progress with these schools remained very slow due to lack of stable internet and pre-access of computers. Coming to our survey data, about 95% students expressed familiarity with the online telescope after the project. Targeted audience expressed a 13% gain in their astronomy knowledge. 50% students showed an interest in astronomy using online telescope. 38% showed confidence in communicating land concepts. The major challenge faced by students was limited internet access, difficulty in taking time out with regular school studies, and lack of access to devices. For activity 2, primary online session with the higher secondary students of the remote regions was aimed at elevating the knowledge of particle physics and its connection to universe. Students were engaged in a hands-on activity of the CERN's LHC architecture model. Assembling in a building model was aimed to help them understand engineering connections and the appreciation of the work done in large research infrastructure. After the final assembly, students displayed their work to peers and teachers and gave presentations. To emphasize that a girls' education as scientists was connected from ICTP, who eloquently talked about the opportunities available for women and role they have played in the realm of scientific field. Girls interacted during the session by asking questions. Coming to survey, 62% showed satisfaction with the activity. 28% expressed improving concept of a particle physics, which is a 46% gain from their initial response. 62% consider improvement in their collaboration skills. 65% would consider recommending this experience to others. Our third engagement was a primary session on light source synchrotron student experience, a program by Canadian Light Source for high school students to introduce them to an immersive research environment. Later in October, we connected remotely with the Canadian Light Source Synchrotron education team for a 2-day engagement, which included virtual tour of the facility, introduction to beam lines, and the career taught by the facility staff. Through Light Source student experience, science curriculum was connected with scientific research in the fields of health, agriculture, and environment and material. Students gained the experience of research environment by analyzing the data for soil samples. Coming to the survey results, 89% students found the experience interesting. 72% felt fairly confident to explain land concepts. 81% were able to understand the process for the soil research. About 90% were interested to engage in a future project with the CMS. 3 undergrad girl students were trained as a STEM ambassador. In-house, online, and in-person guiding sessions were conducted with them on different agendas. They were given a STEM experience and encouraged to write blogs, develop their communication and collaboration skills. STEM ambassadors have wrote about the project, and that is published on the OAD page. The STEM ambassadors have also created a YouTube channel to publish the content created by these students. This is the experience of one of our STEM ambassadors. The 2 other have a similar experience as STEM ambassadorship with Astrophi Quench. Coming over to the way forward, we plan on creating a dedicated astronomy club at school, selecting astro guides among community students, making a dedicated web portal for the project, employing fresh STEM graduates from local community on contract to run a similar project for the entire year. Here, we extend our thanks to OAD for funding our project.
Thank you, Mehmet. So I've already see that multiple projects are talking about astro guides. I hope that you all keep in touch with each other even after this. And I should also point out there's other people in the Zoom meeting other than the projects in the OAD team. And Ed Gomez, who serves on a review panel, also runs the NASCOM Race Observatory. Ed, do you want to say something about LCO?
Thanks, Ram. Actually, Mirawat is one of our Global Sky partners, which is a partner program that we run for anybody to apply to use our robotic telescopes. We have 10 40-centimeter telescopes that can be used for educational projects. And then we will provide you with an allocation of telescope time for a 12-month period, which starts in August, and proposals for that will be due in April. But as part of that, you get my help in shaping your program if you wanted to add robotic telescopes. We're always very happy to get projects which have been supported by the OAD. Thanks, Ram.
Thanks, Ed. So the next one is AstroPrism Consolidation in Nigeria. So this is actually the second instance of the AstroPrism project. I invite Ofodum to introduce himself first before I play the video.
Hi, Ram.
Hi.
Okay, Dr. Fodum, he's not here, so I'm just going to make a little bit introduction. I'm part of that team. My name is William Timothy C, and we are happy to be here today to make our presentation.
So here comes the presentation.
My name is Ofodum and I'm here to make this presentation on behalf of all the AstroPrism partners in Nigeria, based on the project we carried out in 2023 titled AstroPrism Consolidation in Nigeria. By way of introduction, AstroPrism Consolidation is an astronomy-based outreach program designed to inspire, educate, and prepare inmates for a better life after their jail terms. Through AstroPrism, we impacted various astronomy and basic science-related skills to these inmates in order to improve their capacity to live a decent life after their incarceration. The sponsors of our programs are the Office of Astronomy for Development, Cape Town, Center for Basic Space Science, my employer here in Nigeria, Carmelite Prisoners Interest Organization, CAPIO, Nigeria. The aim of AstroPrism is to teach the inmates some skills that could help them earn a decent living through astrotourism, snare farming, and beekeeping. The aim also intends to give them value reorientation through exposition on topics like pale blue dots, solar system, light pollution, and dark sky conservation. During the program, we targeted 450 inmates that are about to complete their jail terms, with the intention of having a gender balance of 1:1 between male and female inmates. We visited 3 correctional centers at Onitsha, Awka, Nnewi, all in Anambra State, Southeast Nigeria. At the end of the program, the audience reached and their gender distribution stands at 375 inmates in total, which is 83% of our target audience, and 2 infants. At Onitsha Prison or Correctional Center, we attended to 112 males, 72 females. At Awka Correctional Center, we attended to 97 males. At Nnewi Correctional Center, we attended to 94 males. The pie chart here shows the audience reached in each of the correctional centers as well as the gender distribution. From this pie chart, the female to male ratio is 1:5. Project deliverables. Through this project, we were able to deliver medical consultations for all the selected inmates, and we also delivered drugs, sanitary, food, and other gift items to these inmates. We also delivered presentations on astronomy-related topics like pale blue dot, solar system, light pollution, dark sky conservation, and astrotourism. All these presentations are aimed at giving these prisoners value reorientation so that they will live a decent life after their incarceration. We also delivered intensive training on snare farming to these prisoners to help them have other decent ways of earning their living after their incarceration. We also trained them on beekeeping. These are the pictures we took during our project. By law, we were not supposed to take any picture, but because of the success of our program, the prison authorities permitted us to take some pictures on a condition that we must cover the faces of the prisoners, or that the prisoners must back the camera. So the top right picture shows one of the prisoners receiving medical attention. The bottom right picture shows the prisoners backing the camera and some of the prison officials listening to the training on snail farming. The same thing goes here. The left bottom picture shows the prison authorities being attended to, because we discovered that they are also interested in our project. So we had no option than to make out extra time to also attend to the prison officials. The bottom right picture shows some of the prison officials, while the faces of the prisoners were also covered, listening to the training program on snare farming. The project outcome: through this ASO prison consolidation, the well-being of 375 inmates were boosted through medical examination and the administration of appropriate drugs. 2, love and peaceful coexistence were promoted through feeding, presentation of sanitary and other gift items to 375 inmates and the 2 infants we met at the prison. 3, greater percentage of these inmates receive complete value reorientation, which will go a long way in helping them during their reintegration into the larger society. 4, human and business capacity of 375 inmates and 28 warders were boosted during the program. 5, snare farms were established in each of the 3 correctional centers visited in order to help them practice what we taught them. The challenges: although we had a wonderful project during the program, however, we encountered some challenges, which include: 1, the training on beekeeping could not be practicalized to avoid raising the entropy of the prison based on the advice of the prison officials. 2, we could not achieve a gender ratio of 1:1 between male and female inmates because we only saw female inmates at Onitsha prison, and the total number of female inmates in the 3 prisons we visited stands at 72. 3, greater majority of the female inmates are serving long jail terms for capital offenses. Some of them are on death row. Some of them are serving life sentences. And because of that, we could not get a reasonable number of female inmates that are about to leave complete their jail terms. So we ended up attending to all of them in order to show up the number of female inmates we attended to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So the next one is astronomy cadets after schools from Northern Ireland. Malaysia.
Hello. Yes. Hi, Ram. Hello, everybody. So my name is Nick Park, and I'm an education officer in the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium in Ireland. And so we're currently in the middle of our 3rd season of our after-school club for 7 to 11-year-olds. But you'll hear more about that in the video. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Here comes the video.
My name is Nick Park and I'm an Education Officer at the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium. We are based in the UK on the island of Ireland. The Armagh Observatory and Planetarium, or AOP as we call ourselves, is found on a 14-acre site of landscape grounds and woodland. Our Space Cadets Club has been for 7 to 11-year-old children from Armagh, and it takes place each Tuesday at 3:45 until 4:45 in the afternoon. The club is an 11-week programme and has facilitated up to 15 children. We are currently operating our third after-school club. One of the main aims of the club has been to try and reach children from a lower socio-economic background and give them access to the planetarium where they previously may not have been able to afford or have had the facility to visit somewhere like AOP. So the way we've approached this is to look at all of the resources that we have and all of the various locations across our site, and to pick some that children would be unlikely to have access to if they were visiting with their families, say at the weekend. This has been really a core part of our ethos at the club, to give the cadets that feeling of special status and privilege, that they get to try out some of the high-end equipment that astronomers use, such as our Cobra in the data visualization lab. There's probably not time to give an outline of all of the activities and sessions that we ran across the three clubs. If anybody wants more information about this, do feel free to drop me an email at nick.park@armagh.ac.uk. The OAD funding has been extremely helpful to us at AOP, as it's enabled us to bring in some external providers such as the AMA Centre. Next for Kids NI was another external provider that we used for one of the club sessions, and the children were following instructions and building motorised models. One of them was an orrery with the moon, earth and sun. At the end of our second club, most of the children were saying to me, so there's no more club next week, and well, what are we going to do next Tuesday instead? Things like that. So it was kind of bittersweet to hear those comments. I did feel a little bit sorry that our club had to come to an end, but at the same time it was good to know that they had felt involved in it, and it was hopefully a clue as to how engaged they had been in some of the experiences and activities. Overall, I would say that the STEM Cadets Clubs that we have been running at AOP since last April have been really very successful, and both Sinead and I are very pleased with sort of the results and sort of the feedback we've heard from families, and in particular the children themselves, in the surveys as well, and even down to little things like on the very final week when certificates were given out along with a goodie backpack, and one of the mums was just amazed that they got to take this away for free, and was just delighted with it, and of course the child was too, with stationery and a little solar system model making kit as well. So just the fact that the whole thing was provided for free, and there was souvenirs and mementos to take away, they were just absolutely stunned and delighted with it. Also the final presentation week, even down to little things like you could see I noticed the children holding hands in the photos, so it sort of was just a little clue that the children had certainly struck up maybe some new friendship. In terms of what's next for us at AOP, we've already had some comments from parents saying that there doesn't seem to be much provision for the 11 to 14-year-old age group in the city in terms of youth clubs and extracurricular activities. So this is perhaps an area that we will look at to see if we can continue something similar that would run along the same lines of the Space Cadets Club in the not too distant future.
Thank you, Nick. So let's see who's next. Next is guide training for tribal students phase 2. Shweta?
Yes, hi. Thank you, Ram. I'm excited to meet you all over here, and especially hearing the word Astro Guide from you all. I would definitely like to take this opportunity to ask you all to get in touch with me so that we can work together with the similar projects. Our project Astro Tribe focuses on training the underprivileged kids, especially the tribal students. I would rather say youth than kids. Not just educating them about astronomy, but training them in the field so that they can use the skills of handling the telescope and stargazing and kind of put it together with astrotourism and earn their own income through that. So let's go ahead and get to the presentation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Namaste. I'm Shweta Kulkarni, founder and director of Astrona. The phase 2 of the project Astro Tribe, funded by the OAD, is nearing its completion, and I would like to give you an overview of our venture. The project aimed to develop youth in the tribal community through astronomy. I've been promoting astronomy for over a decade now, and I discovered the tribal community's interest and enthusiasm for the field despite their lack of exposure. The real development for the tribals would come from conserving their relationship with nature and making them aware of sustainable development avenues. The AstroTribe project focuses on the SDGs of decent work, economic growth, and quality education, which aligns with OAD's goal of providing astronomy-related knowledge and skills for sustainable socio-economic development. To become an Astro Guide, it requires a unique combination of personality, skills, and knowledge. The project covered each of these aspects. The Level 1 training was conducted for the interested students in Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh. It covered astronomical concepts as well as psychological evaluation through body movement activities. The students shortlisted for Level 2 focused on skill development in astronomy and communication. They learned to handle telescopes, identify constellations, and conduct mock stargazing sessions. Our Astro Guides in Manali have completed all the levels and they have earned about Rs 20,000 income so far, while they continue their organization with some other resorts. The students in Ladakh have completed their level 2 partially, and we will go back to Ladakh after the winter season to continue organizing profitable stargazing events. Each interested student in the AstroTribe project went through initial evaluation tests that gave us insights into their astronomical knowledge, reading comprehension, as well as a peek into their personality through psychological evaluation. After the training, their peers evaluated them along with us on various parameters focusing on knowledge, skills, and personality that makes them great Astro Guides, ready to engage with the audience. A world-renowned innovator and educational reformist, Sonam Wangchuk, came across our work and extended collaboration with SecMol and HIL. We also received funding from the Government of India for our efforts in conserving the dark skies with help of Astro Guides. For the Astro Guides to continue using the skills they gained through this project, we have collaborated with various resorts in Ladakh, Himachal, and Maharashtra. Founder of SecMol and HIL, Sonam Wangchuk, shared his views at our International Dark Sky Preservation and Astrotourism Conference to support our project as well as long-term collaboration. Here is a bite from him.
Wonderful to be connecting to you all who are interested in the stars, and I'm one of you, and I will share a little bit of what we think up here in Ladakh, how we can make our mountains examples of sustainable, or rather, regenerative, restorative lifestyles. And in all of this, astronomy and our interest in stars can go a long way. So I'll share with you with some pictures, a picture story of what we do here in Ladakh and how we think in collaboration with Astronera to make stargazing widely available for all, those who visit the mountains and those who live in the mountains, to benefit from this and ultimately benefiting the planet.
Of course, there are some challenges that we are facing to run this project. Network and connectivity is one of the biggest hurdles because both the locations for our this year's project are quite remote. Both these locations face extreme climate changes, especially during winters, which affects the tourism seasons, leaving a short window suitable to run stargazing activities. And of course, this brings us to the continuous issue of the demand. We need more awareness in the society about astrotourism and dark skies. Though we received a generous funding from IAU OAD, we will always require more to support the travel and equipment of our astro guides until the activities become routine. As we work through our challenges and improve our project, we aim to build a network of astro guides, mentors to provide continuous support, and resorts to collaborate to promote astrotourism and conserve the dark skies. Please join our journey on social media and visit our website. Thanks and clear skies.
Thanks, Shweta. So we have a couple more projects to go until the end of the hour, and then we'll take a few minutes for questions. The next one is the EMEJA project targeting Kenya and Uganda. I don't know if Anne is here or Tabitha. Tabitha, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hello.
Hi. You can quickly introduce yourself, please. Thanks.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tabitha Alango, representing Elimisham's channel, Elimisha Jamii, abbreviated as IMEJA. This is a project that is implemented in Kenya and which targets girls in rural areas in Kenya and Uganda. So we use astronomy-themed events to try and mentor and empower these girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Here's the video.
Hello, I'm Tabitha Alango, representing Elimisham's channel, Elimisha Jamii na Astronomia. IMEJA, one of the projects that is funded by the Office of Astronomy for Development and is implemented in Kenya. I'll be giving an overview of the programs that we implemented for the year 2023. So to begin with the context of our project, girls in rural areas are faced by unique challenges that may impede their successful completion of their education. Some of the challenges that these girls faced include early marriages, teenage pregnancies, female genital mutilation, and a general lack of mentors that can empower these girls. At IMEJA, our primary goal is to ensure 100% transition rate between primary and secondary school for girls in rural areas in Kenya and Uganda. So we use astronomy-themed events and activities to help us achieve this goal through various processes such as increasing the number of girls that take STEM subjects, creating resources for these schools, fostering computer literacy among the students, and engaging in local communities to address some of the socioeconomic issues. So going on to the programs that we implemented for the year 2023, one of the programs was the astronomy outreach and mentorship, whereby we had our mentors visit a total of 15 primary schools in Kenya and Uganda to interact and mentor girls in their last 3 years of primary school. And we managed to engage with approximately 550 primary school girls. And the second program that we implemented for the year 2023 was the tracking and long-term monitoring, whereby we had our mentors call the mentees that we've been recruiting through the years as they finish their primary school. So this one was done between 26th April and 5th May. And these activities usually coupled with the tuition fee scholarship, because through the tracking and monitoring exercise, we get to identify girls that may need our assistance in terms of paying for their school fees through the 4 years of secondary school education. We also hosted AstroSTEM workshop and mentorship, and this is a program that is aimed for high school girls in year 1 and year 2 of their studies. So for last year, we hosted this workshop in 2 schools in Kitale, St. Peter's, Mitobili, and Upeko Sorongai. And this one was done between 2nd and 3rd June of 2023. So this is a 2-day workshop that included 4 sessions. So we have the physics hands-on practical, a geography stroke astronomy session, and then introductions to computer session, and then the general mentorship and career guidance. So while hosting these workshops, we got to create resources for these schools by buying them the physics materials that we used for our hands-on practical sessions. So through that, we got to create resources for these schools. And then also there's the computer literacy program. This one we also did concurrently with the workshop, the AstroSTEM workshop, where we got to introduce these students to the basic concepts of computer and also create resources for these schools by donating computers so that it can help them deliver the computer lessons more effectively. So to briefly highlight some of the results that we achieved for 2023, first, there was an improvement in the mean scores for physics subjects in both schools that we worked with for AstroSTEM workshop. The number of girls that chose physics in the 3rd term of the year in these schools also increased compared to the previous year. For the astronomy and outreach mentorship program, we managed to reach approximately 550 school girls. And then for the tracking and monitoring, we successfully managed to track 80% of the mentees. For the tuition fees scholarship, we paid full year scholarship for 4 students under the program. And also we donated 10 computers to 3 schools. And thanks to Imager, these schools now have well-equipped laboratories and can offer computer lessons. And our work was not without challenges. For instance, for AstroSTEM, we had to purchase the materials that we use for the hands-on sessions because these schools do not have these resources. The number of students was also large compared to the available resources. And also we are experiencing a case of the number of students that need our assistance in terms of tuition fee scholarship is increasing compared to the amount that we can manage to raise. And then a big challenge was in the tracking and monitoring program, whereby most of our girls are unreachable. The numbers that we have in our database are either out of service or sometimes they're completely unreachable. And then lack of funding also presented a major challenge, forcing us to scale down the scope of most of our projects. So for 2024, we'll be implementing the same programs, but we're hoping to scale up and reach out to more girls and more schools to gain a greater impact. We'll also be coming up with more effective strategies for the tracking and monitoring, which posed a significant challenge in the previous year. Overall, Imager was a success, and we continue to thank OAD for their unwavering support in implementing our goals.
Thank you very much. So Imager is one of our multi-year projects. That's why they'll be implementing again in 2024. They got funding for a 2nd year. So let's see. Before I go to the next one, Joy, if you want to do a pitch.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you for the project I've heard about in your work, amazing work, and I feel very lucky and privileged to have the OAD right now because I can hear all this amazing work being done through the OAD. I'd just like to extend an invitation for everyone to submit abstracts for the upcoming general assembly that is happening in Cape Town this August. We have an OAD session, and we would love for you guys to present some of the work you could do at the OAD session. So I'll just leave the link to the OAD session information on the chat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will talk you through it. And the deadline is next week Friday. So if you are interested, please submit an abstract soon. And there's also travel grants available for those who are interested. But also the grant does cover this registration fee as well. So please feel free to submit an application. Thank you.
Thanks, Joy. So the next one is Internet of Things Lab for Air Quality Monitoring from Senegal. Do you have Bertrand? Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Ram. Yeah.
Hi.
Well,
Yeah.
just 1 second, please. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you are. So my own name is Bertrand Church. I'm an associate professor here in Senegal at the Alioune Diop University. and I'm working on air pollution. And my own project is about Internet of Things combined with internet in order to track the air pollution and characterize them. So this is what our project is mainly about. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this is one of the projects that was selected under the special theme on basic science for sustainable development, because we had a UN International Year of Basic Science for Development a couple of years ago. Yeah, I'll play the video.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Bertrand Chanche. I am from Alum Job University when I'm a physics professor. I'm here today to talk about a project we are having here, that is the Internet of Things Lab for air quality monitoring. Well, this project is about air pollution mainly, and how to detect the pollutants in the atmosphere, how to teach people about how to detect it, and what pollution is about. So when we talk about air pollution, this is an amazing issue here in sub-Saharan Africa. And the key driving factors of this pollution are growing population, urbanization, and industrialization. And when we talk about air pollution, we distinguish two types of air pollution. The urban air pollution, this is about road traffic, open burning of municipal solid waste, surroundings, etc. And on the other side, we have the indoor air pollution. This is about homes, hospitals, offices, schools, etc. Well, now we know that when our air is polluted, we have a number of pollutants that have been very well, let's say, documented now. We talk about particulate matter, ozone, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, methane, organic volatile components, black carbon, and so on. And what we know also is that when our body comes into contact with these pollutants, all parts of our body is affected. Our skin, our eyes, the brain, the lungs, the heart, and this has consequences on our health. And that's why we could find more and more people today with cardiovascular diseases, pulmonary diseases, etc. Well, when we talk about the specific case of sub-Saharan Africa, what we ought to know is that we have a lot of issues that's surrounding air quality monitoring in Africa, lack of public awareness among population, air quality data that are scarce, very few monitors in most places, high upfront costs of reference monitors. Now, the opportunity we are having today, thanks to the evolution of the technologies, is that we can build very, very simple low-cost monitors. Okay, that's what we call now low-cost sensors. So when we talk about reference grades could cost more than 25,000, but when we look at low-cost monitors, they are less than $1,000 most of the time. Well, our main goal during the project is to do what? Is to increase the public awareness, to train our teachers and researchers on IoT techniques, eco monitoring, and increase the experimental skills of our teachers and improve, of course, the physics education. So what we do mainly in this project is to organize online and hands-on training on air pollution and health effects, and other side on IoT-based air sensors. Our target audience is the students, okay, at all levels, teachers and researchers. What we are doing in this project is to make research and then disseminate it, okay? So what we do is that we buy the components, we buy also some of these devices, we try to build our own device, as you can see on the pictures here, where we designed 3 of those devices during our research. And what we do is to organize events, okay? As I said earlier, we have organized so far one event that was an online seminar that was in November 2023, and we're having 2 upcoming events. One that will be an AQ and Science Forum that will be on the 12th of March in the at the Alun Job University, and we have in the same week, okay, on the 14th and on the 15th, a hands-on training on how to design and test the low-cost air monitor. As the part also of our activities, we have been disseminating, okay, this project also. We attended 3 conferences so far. We were at the EGU conference in Vienna, that was in April. We attended the SA conference, that was in Ghana, that was in October. And we attended also an online conference, that was in November. So the result and achievement, 3 systems were designed so far, an online seminar, 1 upcoming workshop, 1 upcoming science forum, 3 conferences attended, a platform for the project was built, and a website also. As challenges, a limited budget we had, difficulty in sourcing and purchasing the component because they are not available locally, lack of human resources because we didn't have a lot of volunteers, and also the fact that our campus here was closed due to the political instability in the country. Well, this is our team. I, Professor Dan, Sean Uhera, and Uli, and we are assisted by Dr. Jacob. Thank you very much for your attention. If you want more information, please check out our website or you can contact us directly. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. All right, so we have one more video. Actually, I think they're done. Yeah, so now is the time to ask questions for any of the projects service presentations you watched. Anyone have questions? Oh, Brian, yeah, you can unmute now. Brian? Seems like it's still not working. Anyone has questions for the presentation so far? No questions, no one from the OAD wants to ask. Oh, Alan?
Yes, Hamasami, I have a question. First of all, congratulations to everyone. I really enjoy all the presentations. I think we know that's very hard sometimes to deal with all the challenges that we have to face. So congratulations to everyone. I have a question to Tabitha on the project of the gender. Tabitha, is she here?
Tabitha?
Yeah, Alvarez. Yes, I'm here.
Good, Tabitha. So I really enjoy your project. And can you talk a little bit more about how do you discuss with the girls about the roles of them and the gender issues in Kenya and Uganda? I'm interested because here in Brazil you also deal with some projects to focus on the girls and on the gender issues. So I know that works so totally different from country to country. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So what we usually do, we use astronomy themed events, but then our focus, the underlying goal is to help address these socioeconomic issues that these girls face. So when we are visiting these girls in their schools, we usually structure our programs to include first, there's the astronomy content, and then there's also the general mentorship and guidance. And then when we're visiting these schools, we usually tag along with the female mentors. So these are people that are in astronomy field, either doing a PhD in astronomy or astrophysics, or just doing their master's. So when we go with these mentors, or tutors as we refer to them, they try to empower these girls, give them general guidance, give them career advice. Yeah, so that is how we try to tackle this from an astronomy perspective, but digging into the socioeconomic issues. And then some of the sessions, like the outreach session, we usually also have open sessions we invite the parents to these sessions. So we usually have an open discussion with the parents too, where we try to get their ideas on what are the biggest challenges that they are facing, and how can we as a community address these challenges. So yeah, that is how we do it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Let me look at the chat. Nick, go ahead. Claudia, I will come to you after that.
Hello, Dr. Bertrand, Sandy. Just we have a weather station at the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium, and although I'm not an expert in all of the weather readings, I know they take weather readings on a daily basis, and I'm just curious to know how the data appears on the screens of the sensors that you built. Is it just like a percentage level? It sort of shows how generally polluted the air is in a region, or is it like a bar level appears on a screen, or does the data appear in some other way for the different kinds of pollutants in the air? Or so are they all together, or does it show the separate components of sulfur dioxide in the air and whatever else? Sorry, that's quite a technical question, but I'm just curious.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your question. Well, you know, there are a lot of pollutants in the air. Okay, we have some that are particles. Okay, that we call PM, fine and ultrafine particles. You can call dust. Okay, you can call it dust, and you have gases on the other side, where you have CO, we have a CO, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and so on, ozone, and so on. And in this project, where we are focusing mainly on dust, on particle matter. Why? Because it's difficult to buy a cheap sensor for gases. It is very expensive, so we cannot afford at the moment. Okay, so what we do is that we order some dust sensors from China, because they're cheap there. You can find few of them, something like maybe $10 or $15. You can find a good sensor from China. And with other set of components, then you combine them, okay, in sort of devices. And you can add some important also sensors like a temperature sensor, humidity sensor. And then you have it, you do also microprocessor, okay, micro CPU, like Arduino, for instance, or you can use a Raspberry if you want. But in our case, we're using ESP32 because it's cheap, very cheap. It's something like $4 or 4 euros. It's cheap, easy to be ordered from China also. So our main goal was then to have a very cheap sensor that could device that could cost less than $100. This is what our goal, so that everyone can buy it, because a real monitor costs thousands of dollars, as I said. So by the time you have these components, macro CPU, you have the sensors, and you need also to buy a screen. Okay, you have the LCD screen that you need to buy, and you have also need a computer in order to program the micro CPU.
Yes,
to program the micro CPU, and also you will need to buy some fees to specific platform where you can see your data at a time, because you need also to connect to have an API key, what we call the API key. Okay, and if you have the API key and you have your screen, it means that you can see the level of the pollution. Okay, when it comes to PM, we talk about micrograms per cubic meter. Okay, this is what we get, and you can know the level, okay, of the concentration of the dust in the air when you are making some measurement. And in order to know if your air is a good, bad or good quality, if you are in danger, at risk or no, we have what we call the air quality index. Okay, and the air quality index depends on countries. The US, in US, they have the air quality index in the US. You go to China, you find another one. You go to Europe, they have other indexes there. So according to the place where you are, the level of PM can tell you if you are if this is the air is clean or no. If the clear is you are in danger, you are not really in danger. There are several different levels. Okay, and the level, the higher level would be something like maybe 100 in the case of some countries. So when you reach that level, you say, okay, you are at risk, you have to leave the place. Okay, and the lowest level could be something like less than 15. Where this we can say, okay, this is a good quality of air. But this is when it comes, we're talking just about PM. This is particle fine particle matter. But you have also ultra fine. That is concentration. That's just that are very very size, very small. Just a very small that size. That's a very dangerous. We call ultra fine. But you cannot measure. You cannot have a small device that can measure ultra fine at the moment because ultra fine monitors are also very expensive. So we work only on fine particle. PM, mainly PM 2.5 at the moment is what we have been doing. I don't know if I answer your question.
Thank you very much. It's very informative. We may be in touch with you again for one of these devices. So
yeah, no problem.
Great. Thank
you. Thank you very much, Claudio.
Hey, thank you, Ram. It's always incredible, right, to listen to what all you guys do with the funds that the OAD gives to you, and see astronomy being used in so many different ways. I remember, right, from reviewing the proposals, one that struck me a lot because it was really targeting a stakeholder group which is completely different from what we usually do, right? Was the Astro PC, and was happy to see the presentation today because you target a very difficult group, right? And with something that is sometimes is disconnected from reality, right? Which is astronomy, right? I mean, okay, we can have skills and things, but no, my question is not a very articulated question, right? But it's more like at the human level, right? How was the reception of the astronomical content? Because I remember the proposal, right? You mentioned that in addition to skills and training things, in practical things, it was the notion of almost spirituality, right? I mean that. The universe is big and some existence stuff. So I'd like to hear how was received, right, this concept of astronomy in this very challenging environment. I'd like to hear more.
Thank you. So that's the question for the Astro Prison consolidation. Timothy, do you want to answer? How did the prisoners respond?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. During the Astro prison outreach across the prisons, the prisoners they almost feel depressed because of incarceration, and bringing this Astro prison is a kind of a message of hope to these inmates, because we don't come with just it's not just about the medical outreach and all those things. We come with this message of hope that, using the concept of pale blue dot, that we all live in one beautiful place called the Earth, and it's our collective responsibility to make sure that we protect this place called the Earth. So, not minding the crime you have committed that brought you into the prison, that there is still hope for you. So after incarceration, there's no point going back to crime. You have to join hands together with us to make sure that we make this place a better place. And I must tell you that you need to see the enthusiasm, you need to see the happiness in the faces of these prisoners. So across the various places that we went to. So I don't know if I answered your questions, but I must tell you that the program was impactful.
Yeah, I mean, that's wonderful to hear, Timothy. And do you plan to? So I don't remember if you mentioned this in your presentation, but this population is about to leave, or they are still have years of incarceration, and there's somehow you could follow up what happens to them, or not really?
Yeah, we targeted our main target was the prisoners that are about to leave the prison, people that have 6 months to 1 year to live incarceration, to leave the prison walls. Also, we had a follow-up through CAPU. That's why we brought in the Camerite Prisoners Association. So we gave them that obligation to make sure that they follow up with these prisoners too, because also we provided some funding, right, for these ones that are about to leave, so that this little entrepreneurship stuff that we taught them, the snaring, the beekeeping and everything, so that when they leave incarceration, so they will have a little capitals to start up with.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. This is great. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. So let's move on to the next section. I think the first person is Alan. Yeah, Alan, we talk about the Orumbia project.
Yeah, thanks again, everyone. I'm Alan Alves Brito. I'm from Brazil. I'm a professor of astronomy at the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, in the southern part of the country. And in a few minutes, you are going to see our Orumbia project. That's also part of the PLOAD, the Portuguese Language Office of Astronomy for Development. And this project is still ongoing, and we have a close collaboration with teachers, students from different parts of the world. So I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Alves Brito, a professor from the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, southern Brazil. It's a great pleasure to be here with you all to present our project, Orumbia, a Library of Silent Voice. First of all, I'd like to thank you, the IAU OAD, for supporting not only this project, but the other projects of us over the last years. We are doing a lot of great things, not only here in Brazil, but also in other countries, from the PLOAD, the Portuguese Language Office of Astronomy for Development. As you might know, Brazil is a very complex country where you take racial, social, and gender issues into account. Although the majority of Brazil populations is composed of Black and women people, there is still an underrepresentation of women, Black, LGBTQIA+, and indigenous people in the science, especially in physics and astronomy. We also need to know more about the culture and the history of our indigenous, African, and Afro-Brazilian population. As part of the colonialism, capitalism, and the patriarchal relations, the structural racism and social inequalities guarantees that, for instance, Black and indigenous people present the worst social index in the country. So with this project, we want to contribute to this change. So what to do? What is the main idea, the main solution that we are proposing with our project? To do this, we have been developing a close relationship with schools, Black, Maroons, and Slums communities, and also indigenous communities. We are selecting books from the PLOAD, the Portuguese Language Office of Astronomy for Development, writers and scientists, to promote the exchange of letters between teachers and students from the PLOAD network. Our main goal is performing the intersection between science, astronomy, and art, literature, and engage Black and indigenous children in the universe of imagination. We are basically focused on three social development goals: the education, gender equality, and also the reduced inequalities. Here I'm showing you some photos of our activities in three different cities from Brazil: Rio de Janeiro, Porto Alegre, where I'm now, and also Salvador. So you can see we work together. We have been organizing meetings, workshops on cultural astronomy, history and philosophy of science, as well as is training the children's skills on writing and reading through Afro and indigenous literature. So here I'm showing some of our teachers developed this skill with the students from these different cities. Here are some more photos from Cape Verde. And you can see the teacher and his students working together with astronomy curricula. So for now, our main results, our main outcomes, we have promoted the creation of an international and collective library. So all these teachers from the different cities in Brazil, they receive different books on Black and indigenous people, and as well as astronomy. We are developing workshops on reading and write, that's the cycle readings, where these children, the Black and indigenous children, they have the opportunity to improve the capacities of reading and write and interpretation using science and astronomy. In the same time, we are also help the teacher formation on astronomy, because not many teachers in Brazil, they have a specific formation in astronomy, so they're doing that. And we are also working with the decolonization of the curricula, because we are introduce different perspectives on the sky. We are also work with Afro-Indigenous stories, narratives about the sky. And also, we have more based on the students' voices and also the teacher's voice. We can say that we are contributing with the empowerment of women, Black and indigenous children. Here I'm showing some of the results. You can see here some letters, lots of letters that I'm receiving from the different students, more letters to be prepared over the years. And here some children just discovering some indigenous Brazilian constellations. So one of the greatest potential and also at the same time the greatest challenge for our projects is to deal with the long distance, because we are in different countries and even in Brazil in different cities, and Brazil is a very large country. So at the same time, this is a great potential because we have different people together with the same goals, but it's also a problem because we cannot see, we cannot meet each other, which would be great. But even so, we are doing great things. We are really sure that we are doing great things and connected by heart. Our next steps, we keep working the whole year from 2024, work together. We are going to include another school. This is 100% indigenous schools. So we're going to start now in March to work to collaborate with this school. We'll finalize the project website and also the ebook. And by the end of this year, we're going to promote the final online meeting. So thank you very much for your attention, and special thanks to you, Ramasamy, for organizing the meeting and this meeting and everything, and also for look after us so well. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Alan. So let's move on. The next one is the Light Sound project. Who's here? Alison. Yeah, Alison.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alison Barilla. I'm at the Center for Astrophysics, Harvard and Smithsonian in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I've been leading the Light Sound project, which is a device that is designed for solar eclipses to make them more accessible to blind and low vision. The project started in 2017, so excited to let you hear about it. Hi, everyone. My name is Alison Barilla, and I'm at the Center for Astrophysics, Harvard and Smithsonian. I'm excited to tell you about our Light Sound project, which is a way to observe solar eclipses with sound. So what is the light sound? It is a device that uses sonification to convert light to sound. So we designed it with the blind and low vision community in mind. It's a completely open source project, so there are instructions in English, Spanish, and French to help you build the devices if you're interested, but also to use the devices, best practices, things like that. All the software to run the device, collect data, plot the data is available online. And we have 3D print case designs online as well. So many people can go to libraries or museums and print their own cases. So this is a fairly small team. Certain people have been active from the beginning and others joined later on. My main collaborator right now is Soleil Hyman, who is a University of Arizona graduate student. She's been working on the project for several years now. Done a ton of work on the software and hardware. And another active member currently is Elliot Richards, who is the engineer who helped us redesign the light sound, which I'll talk about in a minute. So we started this project in 2017. We had 3 devices for the Great American Solar Eclipse. And then in 2019, 2020, we put a lot of work into redesigning the device. We improved the light sensor and added a MIDI board to make the sound a little more pleasant. And we had about 100 devices across South America during those eclipses. And these photos are a great example of different ways to use the device. Some people like to use the device with just the headphones and kind of have an individual experience. And the bottom right image is an image of a large stadium, La Serena, Chile. And in the forefront, there's a light down on a table that's connected to speakers. And so that group is experiencing the event with sound, but also within a larger group. So these are our current designs. So the one on the left is our wired design. It has just very quickly a light sensor, the microcontroller board, which is where the code sits, and then a MIDI board. So the light comes in, gets converted to sound, and gets mapped to different instrument sounds. We've redesigned it with Elliot's help to have a printed circuit board, so it really allowed us to speed up the process of building. And so now this is a much cleaner version on the right. So in progress, we're building over 750 devices with the IAU grant and a couple other grants. We are actively running workshops and donating devices at no cost to folks that are hosting events. This is the current map of where we have devices as of the October 2023 annular eclipse, which the path goes along the west coast here of the United States. April 2024 is the total eclipse that goes through Mexico, Texas, and then up to the East Coast and up through Canada. And so as we build these devices, we're going to be adding more spots on this map so people can go to our website and click on a link and find where these devices are. So like I said, we're hosting workshops where we teach people how to solder. It allows people to join these groups. No soldering experience is required. It allows them to learn a new skill, and it helps us build and donate these devices. So we've had many workshops over the last year, and it's really, really key to help us get these built and out. So we had a bunch of devices. We have over 200 that were out for the annular eclipse. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was a wonderful day, and we got great feedback on the device, and we are really excited for the total eclipse. So last couple seconds, I just want to say we had a few challenges. We had a supply chain issue. There was a big delay on one of the parts, but luckily that came through at the last minute. And we realized there's a need for overestimation of parts, because when you're running workshops and teaching people to solder, some of the parts are going to get broken and not all the devices that you plan to get made. So that's something that we learned along the way. Might be common sense, but we missed that. Next steps, we're running another build workshop on March 2nd. We're mailing out devices. We're holding a bunch of Zoom sessions to answer questions. And then after the eclipse, we're going to be collecting the data, photos, videos, and thinking about the next eclipse. So thanks very much. These are links to our website, and let us know if you want to get involved or have questions.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Alison. Maybe you can leave a link to your website in the chat, so if people want to explore or try and build their own devices, they can. So the next one is developing basic science and astronomy using experimental satellites in Ghana. Is anyone from the team here?
Yes, I am here.
Hi. Hi, Jake. Can you introduce yourself?
All right. Hi, so I'm Jake Yosin. I'm from Kansas, Ghana. Our project is on basically aiding students to build CAN satellites, which are small satellites, and for them to essentially learn basic electronics, astro stuff, and then science. So you can just go to the video and let's enjoy it.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jake Yosin, Project Coordinator for Kansas, Ghana. I'll be presenting on developing basic science and astronomy using experimental satellites, which was our project as Kansas, Ghana. So for our presentation, we're looking at the context of the project. We'll also be looking at our activities we carried out in the project. We'll look at our outcomes from the project and then our challenges we had. Then the last thing we'll look at is what's next for Kansas, Ghana. So for the context of our problem, we noticed that within the Ghanaian educational system, we do not have a formal curriculum for astronomy and space science. So with that, we're looking at having a project which applies a project-based approach to teach science, and our focus was using experimental satellites. Now with that, what we aim to do was to teach them how to solve real-life problems using skills that they may have learned or new skills that they will develop, such as coding, electronics, space science, and the physics that they already know. So for our target audience, we're looking at high school students. We had an impression of 400 plus students, which is very good. We targeted the Ashanti region, the Eastern and the Upper East region, which are regions in Ghana. We had 27 schools in all, and the workshop was targeting, or the workshop and the trainings were targeting a team of 5 students. Now for these 5 students, they were the core students, but we had other students come along and then learn also as they practice in school. So for our activities, we had a lunch on 6th May. Then we had a series of workshops, introductory workshops, followed by the final workshops. Then finally, we had the finals for the campaign where they launched their satellites. Now, this was done in Kumasi and Bogatanga in the Ashanti and Upper East regions. So for our outcomes, for the students' perception, we noticed that most 41% of the students in the survey found mathematics to be a little difficult, but after the campaign, that reduced to about 15%, whereas there was an increase in the number of students who found mathematics and science as not difficult, with an increase of 30%. Now, when it comes to students considering having careers in space science, engineering, and astronomy, mind you, these students are not all science-based students. Now with that, we had about 58% before the campaign say that they are interested in having careers in space and in astronomy. And this increased to about 85% after the campaign, which was a very significant increase. Now, when we look at the number of students who consider which kind of learning preference they would like, the regular learning, which has to do with a lot of theory and cramming, was leading in at the beginning of the campaign, where most students were used to that kind of learning. But after we introduced the project-based learning, we noticed that had increased significantly after the project, after their experience in the campaign. Now we'll talk of our challenges. So our first challenge is the cost, which we had a significant increase in cost of materials, our components, and other things, which affected our projected budget. The next was in terms of our schedule. The schools were moving from post-COVID change in schedules to coming back to their normal regular schedules, which really affected how our schedules went throughout the project. Now, what's next for us? So we are looking to expand to another region where we have a project in the northern region. We've also received interest from other African countries for this project, like Eritrea and Ivory Coast. Now with this, we are looking to move further and build on our success to be able to have students build CubeSats. Then the last thing is to ensure sustainability by establishing astronomy and space science clubs in the various schools. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Jake. So we just have a few more presentations. The next one is Small Corner of the Stars, an initiative for development of local communities in Colombia. Giovanni, are you here? Or someone from the Giovanni.
Good morning, afternoon to everyone. My name is Giovanni Pinzon. I'm Associate Professor at the Universidad Nacional de Colombia in Bogotá. Together with a team of motivated students, we are trying to support the astrotourism activities that are currently conducted by rural communities, particularly in Tatacoa, one of the most popular astrotouristic places in our country. Thanks to the organizers of this OAD presentation day for giving us the opportunity of sharing our main results and challenges. Thank you.
Hello to everyone. Welcome to this brief summary of the results of our OAD project, A Small Corner of the Stars, Sustainable Astrotourism at Tatacoa. The main activities of this project were developed by our Cornerstone team, formed by 8 people from Universidad Nacional de Colombia in Bogotá.
Hello everyone, and thank you for this great opportunity. Today, we'll take you on a journey to the Tatacoa Desert in Colombia, a beautiful place located in the south of the country where you can find an spectacular and unique environment that tells us the natural history of millions of years of evolution, and also is one of the few places in Colombia where you can enjoy of dark nights, optimal for astronomy. This place was certificated for a stabilized foundation. In this place is where a remarkable project is unfolded. Let's explore La Esquinita de las Estrellas. Our project, La Esquinita de las Estrellas, aims to join the natural and cultural resources of this region with basic science. Our main goal, to support the local community in reclaiming the OAD, the Public Astronomical Observatory. During the project, we collaborate closely with the students and teachers of Gabriel Plazas Public School. Through teacher training programs and astronomy workshops, we laid the foundation for the creation of the Los Cuidadores del Cielo y la Naturaleza, Sky and Nature Guardians Science Club. We work tirelessly to restore the astronomical observatory. Solar energy powered the installation of electricity, and we established a special place called La Esquinita de las Estrellas, where visitors can explore the universe history and the natural wonders of Tatacoa through informative panels and students-led guided tours.
At the place called La Esquinita de las Estrellas, besides tourists being able to access the Museum of Universe History, they also have access to a mini store selling astronomical and natural products from Tatacoa, such as mugs, photographics, or even books. The money collected help us buy more products for sale and support transportation for students who collaborate at the site. We extended our reach by creating a scaled solar system across the vast Tatacoa Desert. Each planet is represented by informative panels, allowing desert residents and curious tourists to embark on a cosmic journey. And guess what? Our students lead these captivating tours. They provide additional information to tourists about the planet and also address any inquiries if the tourist requests. The project was made with the support for Astronomy for Development, the International Astronomical Union, the Starlight Foundation, and the Observatorio Astronómico Nacional de Colombia. The project, Las Estrellas, still have some challenge, such as implement more strategies to make the project self-sustainable, search for the support of the local authorities. The place is located 7 kilometers away from the teachers and young scholars. The project ran out of funds after 1 year, and it is still need management and monitoring.
As we think about the future, we are focused on helping the Tatacoa Desert area grow economically by getting more people interested in astronomy. We want to make exploring the stars a big part of visiting the desert. With what we have done so far, we hope both tourists and locals will enjoy learning about space in new ways. This idea encourages tourists to learn about stars and the universe even during the day, while they're exploring the desert. We also hope it inspires locals, guides, and kids who come here often to join and learn about space during daytime too. Furthermore, our goal is to promote astronomical tourism during the day and enhance the visibility of the observatory for night tours. The creation of Esquinita de las Estrellas, a house featuring a shop and cafe, empowers local residents and children to lead a marketing strategy focused on astronomy, generating economic benefits for the region.
Thank you, Giovanni and team. I see from the photo there's lots of tourists coming to the observatory. Okay, yeah. Do you want to say something? Yeah. Thanks for that. So the next one is astronomy development for girls using optical telescope in Nigeria. Is there anyone from the project team?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Good day all. My name is Okani Shioma Franklinda. I'm here to present the project Astronomy Development for the Girl Child using optical telescope in Nigeria. The project is about to encourage the girl child in order to have interest in education, especially in astronomy and STEM education. And continue from the video.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Okani Shioma Franklinda. I am here to give the report of the project is carried out titled Astronomy Development for the Girl Child using optical telescope in Nigeria. The outline of the report draws from introduction, the statement of problem, objectives, and the activities. Introduction. Astronomy development for the girl child using optical telescope in Nigeria was first carried out in Nsukka, Enugu State, Nigeria. Nsukka Metropolis is a semi-urban area in Enugu State. The selected schools are from both remote villages and Nsukka City. The project team comprises of PhD holders, MSc holders, and school teachers in related courses. The project uses astronomy as a tool for girl child education in our local communities and in achieving the SDG development goals. Number 4, statement of problem. There is a low participation of girl child in STEM and in astronomy. In Africa, the participation of girl child in STEM and astronomy is lacking behind as what is obtainable in the Western world. In Nigeria, the story is not different, as astronomy is not part of her secondary school curriculum. Hence, there is a low participation of girl child in STEM courses and in astronomy. The objective of the project is to increase literacy among the participants, to also increase the girl child participation in astronomy and space science education, and also to produce female scientists that will contribute positively to space science development and economy of Africa. The project was 3-day full-packed workshop. The activities carried out include the solar system modeling. This section involves identification of the solar planets using their distances, painting and modeling the planets on the solar system board produced. Coupling of gonioscopes. This project involves dismantling and decoupling of gonioscopes using the principle of optical telescope construction. The students were able to dismantle the gonioscope and also to couple it using the same principle of optical telescope construction. The construction of an optical telescope. This project was executed using these locally sourced materials such as the plano convex legs, the eyepiece, the PVC pipes, and PVC socket reducers. Building of light stethoscopes and the stargazing activity. The stargazing activity was the last project conducted. This project, the stargazing activity, was carried out using the optical telescopes constructed by the students during the workshop. The telescope was used to view celestial objects like the moon, the Venus, and distant stars. The outcome of the project. There was a positive result among the participants as they showed keen astronomy and STEM courses. This was carried out through a post-test questionnaire, which was issued to the participants at the end of the workshop. The workshop lasted for 3 days, and the students were happy for being part of the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go on to the next one. Astrofy Ghana. Is someone from the project team here? Let me play the video.
Hello, my name is Albert Forsen, and I present to you Astrophy Ghana. Our location is somewhere here from the West African region in Africa continent. The Astrophy School. The Astrophy Ghana 2023 is a one-week residential astronomy instrumentation and observational technique school for undergraduate and graduate schools or graduate university students in Ghana, which took place between 14th to 18th August 2023. And the participants, we have 16 males and 4 females. Our objectives are to, 1, gain understanding of the basic radio astronomy receiving system, to gain a basic appreciation of a structure of the Milky Way, 21 centimeters radiation atomic H1, understand and appreciate engineering technical challenges associated with astronomy. And basically, we came up with the idea to be able to introduce undergraduate and graduate students into engineering aspect of astronomy. So we've designed a very affordable telescope called Tabletop Radio Telescope, TTRT. And this is an antenna, this is a antenna, and this is a RFI box, and this is our receiver, the RTL, SDR, and other components that form the TTRT. We also did the construction of the antenna ourselves, which the students were part of it, shown in the photo here. After that, the observation took place. We placed the antennas or telescope on top of tables and be able to do our observations successfully. We also gone through Python programming to be able to deduce the data and also analyze the data using the Python programming. So here is our result, beautiful result of the observation of the galactic hydrogen H line. Here we see. We also went through another technical training of converting a 2.4 satellite dish. We went through the fabrication. We also took them through the assembling and installation of the small dish. We also gone through measurement of radio frequency interference from the area, from the observatory, so that if there's any interference in their data, to be able to identify and flag it out. Also, we also did power transmission losses measurement right here. Another thing we did was also, after the entire school, we visited another university, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. We performed the same experiment, taking various students on board. In conclusion, we may say that we have achieved the main goals for the student to be able to appreciate the measurement of observation of a galactic hydrogen. They have a hands-on experience in data collection and data reduction and be able to plot it, experience in RFI testing measurement. They were able to have those knowledge or skills. They also appreciate the application of engineering challenges, develop their own antenna and be able to use it to observe. So therefore, their enthusiasm towards continual engineering and other aspects of astronomy has really encouraged. So that is what we have done, and I thank you for listening. You can reach me on albert@gmail.com.
Okay, we just have a couple more projects. The next one is Inclusive Astronomy in Guatemala. I think Rodrigo said he had to leave, so I will just play the video.
I'm still here, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're still here.
Yeah, I'm about to leave. Thank you. My name is Rodrigo Zacawi. I'm professor at the University of San Carlos de Guatemala. This is a project of inclusive astronomy. We are really happy with the products and excited to continue working, and we would like to thank the OAD for their support in all the projects. Any question, I leave my email at the end of the presentation, so feel free feel free to contact. Thank you very much.
My name is Rodrigo Sacawi, and I'm going to present the project Inclusive Astronomy in Guatemala, which was funded by OAD. So I would like to start letting you know what is Guatemala. Guatemala, it's a small country. The name comes from the Nahuatl Guatemala, which means place of many trees. We are located in Central America. We are a small country with a population of around 17 million persons and with an area of around 110,000 kilometers square. Even though we are a small country, well, we have different cultures. We are a very rich country in that sense. We have more than 23 languages, from which Spanish is the main language. But we are also proud because we have more than 23 more Mayan language and Amerindian languages in our country. So just some numbers quickly. We have a high illiteracy rate, around 20%, which is one of the highest number in the region. Of the Guatemalan persons, around 5% have some form of visual impairment, around 3% have some form of hearing impairment, and of the population, around 2 million of persons are from communities with Spanish, with the languages different from Spanish than Spanish. And also remember that the access to science and culture is expressed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We started this project. We are very happy. We have a big team, which is multidisciplinary and which is a quite diverse team, including graphic design, mathematics, biology, chemistry, physics, philosophy, astronomy, of course, and of course, many, many volunteers. So the 4 key lines of this project and activities were the design of our games, development of videos, development of science stories, and workshops for mainly for kids in rural areas. So we have developed 4 board games. 2 are completely finished. The first one is a memory game, which consists of 16 pairs of astronomical objects. One of the cards will be having the image, the other one will be having the information. So as they have fun, they can also learn about astronomy. The other board game that is already almost finished is called Journey to the Center of the Galaxy, which consists in a 2 to 4 players game that they begin in the spiral arm, a journey to the center of galaxies, passing through 2 galaxies, and then reaching the central black hole of the galaxy. It is intended that this game lasts 30 minutes per game, more or less. There are also 2 more other games in the way. The first one is the Cosmic Checkers, which is a mixture between classic checkers and astronomical information. It will be an recreational game because as you eat, you are growing, like in astronomy, and you are becoming, having more gravity, you can eat more. So having more mass, you can eat more. So that's the idea of the Cosmic Checkers. And also the other one is an astronomical questionnaire in which if you answer correctly, you will go forward. And if you don't answer correctly, you will go backward. So those are the 2 more games that are being developed. Also, we have developed a video which will be hosted in YouTube. The video is about black holes. It is in Spanish, but with subtitles in Quiché and Cachiquel, to the First Nation languages talked in Guatemala. And also now we are creating the version in Cachiquel, so the video will be full in Cachiquel for all the persons that are Cachiquel speaking. And also we are developing a science story for a book. This will be the second book of our team. I mean, the first one was a book of mathematics in Quechua, another of the First Nation languages in Guatemala, and now another book has been developed, including stories of science, different science for this book. And finally, of course, one of the key ingredients is to interact with the communities. And we have been developing workshops in rural areas, especially for kids, and some of them actually especially for girls. And these are really enrichment activities. We have a lot of fun, and the kids really are enjoying the workshop of astronomy and watching through telescopes, and these kind of activities are really important for them. And about the continuity of the project, well, fortunately, we have received more funding now from the National Science Secretariat of Guatemala. We are also extending to another science, developing material in biology and chemistry. Also, we are generating 3D material for persons with visual impairment, and all the material and the information will be shared in the webpage of the Guatemalan Academy of Natural, Physical, and Medical Sciences. So thank you. There is my email in case you have any question. And also, I would like to thank the OAD for all the support to develop this project.
Thanks so much, Rodrigo. Okay, I believe we are down to our last project on this list, which is Astronomy Club in Secondary Schools in Nigeria. Is there anyone from the project team? Okay, if not, let me play the video.
This is a presentation on Astro Club in secondary schools in Nigeria, sponsored by OAD in partnership with NASDAQ CBS's Astrophysics Group, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University, Road, and the Association of Old Boys. So these are the team members, ably led by Professor Chika Onuchukwu. Then the project summary. The core idea is to stimulate interest in astrophysics through establishing an Astro Club in secondary schools. And we established Astro Club in sports secondary schools in rural settings, distributed educational materials such as laptops and other things. And we carried out enlightenment campaign for students on astronomical topics through series of lectures and workshops. We also carried out constant supervision of activities of the Astro Club. We collected data and analyzed reports of the activities of the club. So the target audience, we targeted 200 secondary school students in Nigeria, 100 junior secondary school students, and 100 senior secondary school students. And the 8 achievable aims are to spark interest in STEM education, especially physics and astronomy, among rural students, provide learning materials such as laptop, videos, ebooks, and software applications, increase awareness of potential career opportunities in astrophysics and astronomy. So, under the SDG, the project focused on education, women, employment and economic growth, peace, security, and equality. So the deliverables, we donated 8 laptops to the school, installed videos, lecture notes, and application softwares. We also carried out lectures and career talk. These are the activities. The first scheduled visit, we met with the officials of the school. They gave us positive feedback and are willing to participate in the project. Then on our second visit, we carried out the proper thing. The aim of the project, have a lecture with the students, then establish the Astro Club, donate the laptops to the students to be managed to be supervised by the teachers. So we carried out visits around September, October, November 2023. The aim of the visit is to carry out pep talk, on astrophysics, astronomy, and the science subjects. So evaluation and impact assessment. The purpose of the Astro Club on student knowledge and interest in Astro. The impact of the Astro Club on students' knowledge and interest in astronomy. We conducted surveys and interviews to gather feedback from students and physics teachers regarding the impact of Astro Club on understanding and interest in astronomy and astrophysics. Our findings: we observed the positive club activities by the students and the teachers. We also observe increase in science enrollment according to the data collected from the school. In Trinity Secondary School, we had 30% increase. In Union Secondary School, we had 25% increase. In Community Secondary School, 25%. Then in St. Joseph Seminary and Special Science Secondary School, we had 10% increase. So these are the photo gallery of the events. So our next plan, action plan, we intend to continue visitations of the schools to give motivational talk to the students in the selected school. The OAD Association has partnered to support our continued visitation of Union Secondary School to encourage the students, not just Astro Club members. We intend to explore the possibility of expanding the Astro Club to more secondary schools within our mission environs. Thank you for listening. For more image and videos, please visit the site below. Thanks.
All right. So that was the last video. Let me just double check. Yes. I know that we are over time, so I don't want to keep people for too long, but are there any quick questions? I see there's lots of chats. Okay. Anyone have a question or comment before we close? I hope everyone's been following the chat as well. I see a few mentions in the chat. Okay, if there's nothing, then thank you everyone. Thanks for making your videos. Thanks for running the project and staying for the whole 2 hours. So the next and final step from our side is to send you the final reporting form, which I'll do in a few days. And that basically will be the last stage, last step of your project. So let me stop the recording.